If you like ass play, then this article is amazing so far. Hi guys, my name is Alex. I am a sex coach. Welcome to another video. This time I am going over a men's health article again. This one promises to be the 25 best sex tips Men's Health magazine has to offer. According to this author, at least the best 25 sex tips that have ever been found throughout the Men's Health magazine. As a sex coach, I want to see if these sex tips are any good, if they're applicable to everyone, if they're going to improve your sex. So let's go through these tips. I'm going to give my analysis on them, tell you if you should do them, if you should implement them, and really just kind of learn how to be better at sex along the way. So if that sounds interesting, then let's get right into it because we got 25 to cover. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because there are so many. Number one, use your tongue wisely. So they basically get into kissing and saying, instead of just going in and out, or if you're doing oral, instead of just kind of like penetrating with your tongue, do more subtle movements, side to side type things, and yeah, it's decent. Of course, all physical based things are going to be individual preference based because some people are going to like if you're rough with your tongue, if you just stick it in and out like they're saying not to do. Some people, of course, are going to like a more gentle touch. Next one, do Kegel exercises. So they're saying it's going to cure premature ejaculation, or at least help it. It's going to improve your orgasms, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it can help. It's going to be a marginal increase, I think. At best, I would say maybe 20% improvement in your sexual quality in terms of orgasm and stuff. But so it's fine. Top 25, maybe not. Experiment with edging is the next one. And yeah, edging is another type of thing, kind of like Kegeling. It's kind of like this sexual practice where you practice kind of restraining yourself from having an orgasm. That way you can last longer when the actual time comes to have sex. It can also increase your semen volume if that's something you're going for. It can make your orgasm feel better. So yeah, try it out. I wouldn't say that this is something that you need to incorporate in your routine if you're not currently doing it. But yeah, try it out and it could improve your sex life. Next one, try a cock ring. So basically this thing that you put around your penis or even around your penis and testicles. It's basically going to be like a tourniquet for your penis, so it's not going to let blood flow out. So the idea is that you get stronger erections, longer lasting erections, and it feels better. So again, I mean, this is not like an amazing sex tip. I was hoping that we would get better than this up to the fourth one I think we're on. Next one, masturbate together. So this is a pretty good one actually, because what it does is it, especially in a newer relationship, if you are not completely comfortable having sex with that person, masturbating with them kind of takes the pressure off of performing, so it kind of alleviates that headspace where you don't have to like actually perform things on your partner, and if that's stressing you out, causing you anxiety, then it's not going to produce a very good sexual outcome. If you can express your vulnerability and have this sexual experience where you're just masturbating and there's no performing part involved and you guys both get off, that can be a really bonding experience which can bring you guys together and improve future sexual encounters, because then when you actually do have sex and it is performance based, you're going to be more comfortable with that person, more able to get in the moment, get present, and they are as well, which is going to improve the sex. So that one I think is the best one so far. Moving on. Find a condom that feels great. Yep, okay, it's good to practice safe sex. Find one that works for you and your partner. That's fine. Next one, try prostate massage. Okay, already going up the butt with this one. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't tried it before, you should try it. You shouldn't really be closed-minded to anything that involves sex except for like pedophilia, obviously. Yeah, I mean, if you want to try it, if you think it might spice up your sex life, or yeah, you just want to experience it, I think you should probably experience it at least once. See if you like it, see if you don't. Next one, explore temperature play. So this one's basically using hot and cold, using ice, they're saying heating up wax, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it can be very physically stimulating. Some people are going to like it, some people aren't. Just like I said, with all physical based things, it's going to be individually preference based, it's going to be opinion based. So someone might love it, someone might hate it. So try it. If it works, then you can incorporate it more. If it doesn't work, then you don't have to ever do it again, but definitely try it, be open-minded to it. Next one, use a butt plug or anal beads. Okay, interesting. A lot of butt stuff going on here so far, and this is pretty early into the best sex tips of all time. It might say something about the writer of this article. I don't know. I'm not going to judge, but they happen to like butt stuff. And like I said, anything physical based like butt stuff is going to be individual preference. Of course, if that kind of stuff turns you on mentally, like just the idea of doing something with your butt because maybe it's taboo or something that gets you kind of going, you fantasize about it, then definitely incorporate it because those mental things are far more important than anything you do physically. Next one, lube up. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, women aren't always going to have the most perfect physiological responses to sexual arousal, so having lube on hand is a good idea. Next one, watch porn together. I could not disagree more with this one. This is an absolutely horrible tip, and they go on to say that we'll let you in on a little secret. Lots of women love watching porn. According to a Men's Health survey, 75% of women said they were down to watch porn with a partner during foreplay or sex itself. So porn is basically not good for anyone. I don't think that you should also incorporate fantasies that are outside of your relationship into your sex life. That is cause for potential issues down the road relationship-wise. It kind of goes with that partner masturbation thing. Those things that are designed to bring you together, I believe watching porn is actually going to bring you apart because you're kind of deriving your sexual pleasure elsewhere. The mental stimulation part, which is the most important part of the sexual pleasure, is going to be derived from the porn and not necessarily a partner. Of course, your partner being there are contributing to mental stimulation in itself, but porn, getting it elsewhere or getting inspiration from it is not a good idea. Porn itself is very bad, it's very harmful for you, it's very addicting, it's sexually desensitizing. What I've seen a lot is couples end up relying on porn because they can't get aroused without that insane stimulation that porn can give you, and that's not a path I want anyone to go down or experience because that's tough. Next one, don't race to intercourse. Okay, yeah, spend more time in foreplay, spend more time building arousal, especially for women. Like I said, they take more time physiologically to get aroused, so you should be spending more time allowing them to get fully aroused and ready for the penetrative sex. And again, I will emphasize that there is more pleasure to be had in the sexual experience beyond just having an orgasm. Next, don't immediately head south during foreplay. Yeah, explore their body, take your time, do things slowly and kind of build up to the more erogenous zones, the genitals. So touch their face first, go down their body, maybe their breasts next, and then their butt, something like that, inner thighs, before you kind of get into the weeds of it, if you will. Next one, ease into dirty talk. So it's kind of the same thing, same concept as the last tip, saying to kind of slow down and don't immediately go in for the hardcore sex type stuff. So yeah, I would say definitely do that. It's not a good idea to just come out swinging with your dirty talk like, I'm gonna like, you dirty little whore, because if their mind is not there, then you can almost make your dirty talk, it almost becomes funny, it almost becomes a joke, and then it kind of ruins the allure of the dirty talk in that sexual experience. So yeah, definitely ease into it. And they give us some examples saying, you make me think dirty thoughts, and something like that. Dirty talk is extremely important, so definitely incorporate it, but again, just give some time to build arousal. And this is a trap that a lot of men fall into because men are aroused instantly, pretty much. It doesn't take much to get us to be into it and just wanting the sex. Women take longer, so as men, you just have to be mindful of that. Next one is try some role play. So another on top of the dirty talk thing where you're adding psychological stimulation. This is the kind of stuff that's going to improve your sex. This kind of stuff that involves fantasies, kinks, fetishes, dirty talking, where you're kind of creating this mental atmosphere beyond just what you're doing physically to their body. That is what's going to make an amazing sexual experience. Next one, make circles on your partner's clitoris. Okay, it's going to be individually preference based. Some people will like it, some people won't. That tip kind of sucks. Moving on. Don't overdo the clitoral contact. Right. So it's very sensitive. Don't just go in and rub that thing up and down. Take some time. Build up to it, stimulate the areas around it, and yeah, I think the theme of these tips is like ass play and slow down. So if you like ass play, then this article is amazing so far. Next one, don't ignore the perineum. Okay, yes, it's basically the area between your balls and your butt. It's that kind of, I guess, if you were a guy, where your vagina would be, if that helps you visualize it. Yes, I mean, again, it's going to be kind of individual preference. Try it. It might work for you really well. It might not do anything, but yeah, just try it and see where it goes. It's not an amazing sex tip, but worth a shot. Next one, focus on closing the pleasure gap, not just the orgasm gap. So they're getting into some political ideologies here with sex. The orgasm gap, saying that men are almost guaranteed to have an orgasm every time you have sex. Women aren't, so it's unfair. I would say if you're good at sex as a man, then the orgasm gap is the other way around, because women can have multiple orgasms quite easily in the same sexual situation. Men, it's a lot harder to do that. So yeah, I mean, giving your partner satisfaction, if you are a guy, giving them orgasms should be a goal of yours. You shouldn't just go into sex selfishly, just trying to get off. Obviously, if you're trying to get better at sex, you should know that. But beyond that, the pleasure gap, I guess they're just trying to say, make sure that you're giving your woman as much pleasure as you are receiving. And I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Sex should be a generous, giving thing. The more you give, the more you will receive. And you'll see that if you take the time to put some effort into your sex. Next one, don't ask your partner if they finished. So yeah, I think if you're confused if they finished or not, they probably didn't. And they go on to say that by posing that question after sex rather than during the act itself, you're implicitly telling your partner that their pleasure is an afterthought for you. So yeah, I can see that a little bit. I also think that if it's going on during the sexual experience and you're going, have you had an orgasm yet? Have you had an orgasm yet? And you're doing all that kind of stuff, I don't think it matters within the sexual experience or outside, but that's just me. Switch positions. Okay, if you didn't think to switch positions, then here you go. Top 25 best sex tips ever. Apparently, no one thought of this. I mean, okay. Next one. Remember, there are more options than just monogamy. So, this is an interesting one. They say a 2018 study out of the University of whatever suggests that couples in open relationships are as well off as those in monogamous relationships when it comes to relationship satisfaction, psychological well-being, and sexual satisfaction. So I would wholeheartedly disagree with this. I believe that if you are one of the extremely rare people in the world that is wired, that can accept open relationships without jealousy, without relationship issues within that open context, then of course you're going to have the same relationship satisfaction as someone that is wired for a monogamous relationship. The thing is that the vast majority of people are wired better and are better suited for monogamous relationships. So I would recommend staying monogamous. You can try the open thing, but 9.9 times out of 10 it is not going to work, because someone in the party is going to get jealous. It's going to lead to bad feelings, and it's just not something that a lot of people can manage. So I don't recommend it. If you are someone that can succeed in one of these relationships, then go for it. And if it makes you happy, then definitely go for it. It's just extremely rare. So I would just say be a little bit weary about trying it and opening a relationship up if you want to keep that same person you're in a relationship with currently. Next one, tap into the public sex fantasy. Yeah, public sex is a turn on for a lot of people. It's another psychological stimulation type thing where if you put sex into a different mental context, the context of kind of being in this taboo situation where you feel like you could get caught, you're doing something bad, and there's some sort of like allure to doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, it can be a real turn on. It can improve your sex a lot. And if you want to improve your sex, you should be thinking about things that put you in different mental states. Those things are the things that bring passion, arousal, horniness, that are all contributing to sexual pleasure more than whatever you're doing physically. So the fantasies, the role play, this kind of stuff, public sex, anytime you can change the mental context of the experience, you're going to make it a lot better. Next one, explore your other fantasies. Same concept, more mental stimulation. That is amazing. Next one after that, explore power dynamics. Yes, power dynamics are extremely arousing. So many women love being controlled, being dominated, kind of relinquishing all the decision making during sex. If you're a guy and you have no idea what your partner likes, you're going into a situation blind, which you shouldn't. You should be communicating about sex before you get into the act itself. But if you don't know what you're doing or what to do to that person, dominance, control, that kind of stuff should be your go-to, because so many people love it. If you think about it, life is hard, and we have sex to kind of escape that and to be able to relinquish all your decision making, all control to this kind of primal desire-filled situation, experience, that is going to be pleasurable sex. That's going to be amazing sex. And that is where the article ends, apparently. That was number 25. And so we ended on a really good one. Those last three that are involving different kind of mental states, psychological states, those type of things are the best sex tips. Those type of things are going to improve your sex more than doing circles on their clitoris or be concerned about how your tongue is moving. Trust me, that kind of stuff makes sex so much better. When you add that mental element, that psychological element, that is where sexual pleasure lies. The biggest, most important sexual organ is the brain. It's not the penis or the vagina or the clitoris or whatever you were thinking. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. The article was okay in terms, in my rating, my sex coach rating. I would say it was okay. The mental stuff is good. The stuff that is just kind of saying to try things, that's decent too. Variety is important because it again adds that mental stimulation, that psychological stimulation. So anything that you can do to try is going to spice up your sex life. It's going to be good practice to be open-minded, which you should be in sex. The stuff that is physical based, like I said throughout the video, is going to be personal preference. It's going to be personal opinion based. So nothing to really gain there besides trying new things on your partner and seeing if they like them, and then you can incorporate them if they do. But anyway, overall, think we learned something. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and sticking around to the end of this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, getting more content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit the like button, leave me a comment. You can comment whatever you want and I will respond to it down in the comment section below. It helps the algorithm, helps push my video out so that more people can be better at sex, because that's my main goal. So get out there and have amazing sex. Bye, guys.